Hello everyone, welcome back to Soccer Talk. We've got a new episode this week. We're going to go through all the games in Europe last night. We'll go through all the first week of league games last Saturday. Great to have the SPFL back for another season. So it's got a lot to go through. So absolutely brilliant games last weekend and during the week. But today I'm back. Gordon's back as my guest. How are you, Gordon? Thanks for coming back on.
Very well, Ewan. Thanks for having me back on. I thoroughly enjoyed the last episode we done, talking about the World Cup. Obviously, you've probably touched on that in your previous podcast, but we weren't surprised about what happened, were we?
Not really. No, not all. We were terrible. We were very, very poor. The World Cup was quite deflating, to be fair, after Scotland.
No. Anyway, we're back on the real football now, aren't we?
No, I know. The league season's back. I'm buzzing. It's back. Also, Ayr are playing really well at the minute, which helps. But no, I'm enjoying it, having the club stuff back. The excitement's back as well, which is good. So, I know I'm enjoying it. So, we'll get straight into it. We'll start off with all the European games last night. Hearts, another absolute trouncing away at Benfica. 6-1 it finished in the first leg away in Lisbon. What do you make of that result for Hearts last night?
It wasn't unexpected, was it, Ewan? I
No.
mean, I think the writing was on the wall when you seen the starting lineup and he's went with two in midfield, the centre back. Surely you think you go and pack your midfield out, you kind of just try and keep it tight, the old classic cliche, keep it tight the first 15, 20 minutes and see what you can get. But you're 1-0 down after about 2 minutes,
Yeah, it was, yeah.
game over in it. And I say it's difficult enough at the best of times in Europe, but when you're coming up against a team of the sort of quality Benfica, I mean, you just look at the guys that they were bringing on, like the John Duran, previously at Villa. They've got a boy up front who they paid a few bob for. So, I mean, you've got to feel for Hearts in a way. Obviously, they're getting criticised for how their season started, but when you've got the likes of you're getting drawn away to sort of Sturm Graz and likes of Benfica and your two opening sort of qualifying campaigns for each tournament, then great for the fans for the sort of away day jollies and trips. But as a
Mm.
player, you just must be like, yes, it's great to compete against the sort of quality that they are, but a wee kind of easy tie to get yourself through to the group stages would have been ideal. But let's be honest here, it's the tie's done in it.
Yeah, no, it is done. It is. I mean, when you're going into your home leg, 5 goals behind, it's deflating for Hearts, really. It's deflating for them. Yeah, so it looks like it'll be the Conference League for them, Conference League playoff. That's them conceded 12 goals in 3 European games. 12 goals in 3 games. It's just
Hmm.
incredible.
I
Uh,
mean,
it's aye.
and that's not even, obviously, we'll touch on it when we discuss the sort of previous weekend's fixtures, but that's not even talking about the sort of two goals they conceded in the behind minutes and at the
Yeah.
weekend there. So, plenty to be concerned about if you're a Hearts fan.
Oh no, definitely. You've definitely got to fear for them. There's a lot of change at Hearts at the minute. There is obviously. It's a totally new squad, new manager. 12 new signings this summer. They've lost obviously their captain, the leading goal scorer on Shank. They've lost Cammy Devlin. Craig Gordon's retired. They've also got injuries as well. Craig Halkett, who I think is the best defender. He's a big miss. One of their summer signings, Fagan Walcott, he's injured already. It's just a disaster for Hearts. It's just too much transition, I think. It's
Aye.
a difficult year for them.
And obviously, they've added to the fact now that Finley's going to be banned as well for the weekend.
Oh yeah, I think they lost the appeal for the Aberdeen red card. Yeah,
I think
so it's
he should have got his ban doubled for the audacity to try and appeal that red card.
no, no, it's worrying times for Hearts. It is, but I think they need to try and be a bit patient with ranking. They do. They need to be really patient with them. let them kind of the team need to bed in a bit more, need to gel a bit. Because they're only 4 competitive games into the season. Obviously, they've lost all 4, but it's going to take time. It really is. I think they need to give Rankin a bit of time, be patient. I think the new signings will come good because I have noticed there is a bit about some of the new signings they've made this summer. They do have a bit of quality, you can tell. I really like their new striker. Is it Bassey
Yeah,
and
he's
the
a
boy
hand.
Mendy? The Mendy from Forest Green. They two look like decent players. So it will take time. It will. They will come good, Hearts. I think they will. They will get stronger as the season goes on.
I think everybody's going to compare them to the sort of success they had last year in terms of taking the sort of title to the last game of the
Yeah.
season. With the changes in the squad, the management team, it's not going to be as easy that this season.
No.
Yes, there's other clubs struggling as well, and the Wolf with this whole Jamestown analytics expect like for like, but you're not going to sort of mirror that success in such a short period of time, especially with the sort of overhaul within that club. So yeah, it's the fans do need to be patient. However, some of the performances and how sloppy they're conceding goals and that can't be accepted.
No, I know. I know. There's ways of losing games. There is, but the way they've lost these games has just been pretty dreadful, really. I mean, they haven't made a good account of themselves too much. They've not done themselves too much justice. I mean, that's Dungratz's game. All 4 goals in that first leg were all from defensive errors. They were all 4 goals were really poor. I mean, the first goal's from a throw-in, I think.
Mhm.
The next, I think, 2 of them are from set pieces. I think they conceded 3 goals in 9 minutes in the second
So,
half against Stumgratz. So it's
that's what I was about to say to you. And
yeah,
I mean, we talk about the concerns, and I know we're talking about the sort of 3 games as a one. We're talking about the concerns of them leaking goals, but the Benfica game, the Aberdeen game, the Sturm Graz game, it's as if they concede a goal and then within 2 minutes later they concede another. So it's this quick succession that they're conceding goals, not giving themselves a chance to get back into games.
no,
Yes,
they're
the
not.
Aberdeen one was the dying minutes of the game, and they've dropped 3 points. But it appears that they don't recover well for conceding that goal, and then the next thing they know, they're 2s and 3s down.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly that. I mean, even I watched the second half on Saturday against Aberdeen. And I thought Hearts played really. I thought they were in control of the game, and then out of nowhere they go and concede in like the 90th minute, and then Stuart Finlay gives away a penalty, last kick of the game. It's just
Yeah,
yeah, it's
self-sabotage, isn't it?
no, it is, it really is. So no, it's slightly panicky times for Hearts. It is. It's worrying times, but you need to be patient with them. So yeah, I 6-1 there away at Benfica. Hearts play Dundee United on Sunday. Dundee United, a team who look decent this season. They get a point against Rangers at home last Friday in the season opener. Their new signings look good. Dundee United. I'm really impressed with them so far.
I do. I mean, to be honest, I don't think they could have any a worse season they did last year, and I think it was important that Jim Goodwin gets off to a good start because he's a lot of people's kind of bookies' favourites, apart from McLeish at St Mirren to be the first one for the chop. So it was important that they go off the mark, if you want for a better word. And see, to be honest, with a bit of composure for their striker, they could have won that game quite easily.
I know that chance from the last minute. It was Randall tried to chip Panda, and I'm
Right,
like,
right to go.
I know it's yeah. No, I thought Dundee United were good against Rangers. Again, I'd love to know who runs their recruitment because they always recruit players abroad and they turn out to be really good players. They always get off to a flyer up here in Scotland. So they've always recruited really well Dundee United. That's what's impressed me.
You've signed a couple of boys for the Australian League this year, haven't you? So obviously trying to tap into that.
Yeah, I think Lachlan Rose is striker, Randall. They signed a centre half, I think from West Ham, Michael Forbes, I think his name is.
Mhm.
Played centre half, played ahead of Luke Graham. They've signed Dylan Tate as well, who's now the captain. They've also signed, let me get up here in the notes. Dylan Tate, I think he's a great signing. 10 summer signings have made. 10 summer signings. So they've recruited a lot. They've had a very busy summer, Dundee United. But I think they'll be hoping to challenge for. They should be challenging for top 6.
That would be my bet. Aye. And then obviously we covered Hearts last night. Hibs, good result at home.
Great result for Hibs. I caught a bit of the Hibs game as well when I got back. I thought Hibs. I thought Hibs played quite well. I thought Hibs played well. They get the goal. They get the opener through Eldon. They then concede about 2 minutes later another sloppy goal defensively. Warren O'Hara pops up with a 90th minute winner. Yeah, that's a great result for Hibs. A really good result. I think it's important that they won at home. Always nice to go into the away leg with a bit of an advantage, 2-1 up. Yeah, great result for Hibs. David Gray, another manager I think that's under slight pressure from the fans. I think there's mixed opinions on David Gray from the Hibs support. I do. I mean, I've seen calls for him, if he didn't win the second leg against Malasheva, to be sacked. I'm like, I don't know. I think that's Hibs hitting the panic button again. Because Hibs need to remember for when they sacked Jack Ross. Jack Ross got to the cup final, finished third the season before. Hibs had gone a bit of a bad spell after the semis before the final. They then go and sack Jack Ross 10 days before the final. And Hibs never really recovered a few seasons after that. They went through hundreds of managers. Now they've got David, and I think David Gray's brought them stability the last 2 seasons.
So that's exactly what I was going to say. They're a bit of consistency. I mean, even look, last season, yes, he came into a bit of flack. He's had a couple of poor results, really poor results. But see, when you actually look at the end of the season and look at the league table, they weren't far catching Motherwell, who they were getting plaudits for everywhere, and rightly so last season. So when you actually take a step back and take away individual results in terms of a season, I'm sure Hibs fans would be quite content with that.
Yeah, oh no, definitely. And I thought Hibs were very unlucky to miss out in top 4 personally. It was to Motherwell on the last day of the season, but they won at Ibrox a week before.
But what also I think a lot didn't sort of go in Gray's favour last year was how good Hearts were, and obviously a lot of Hibs fans were comparing themselves to Hearts, where Hearts had that incredible season. So again, he was up against it in that way as well.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Big credit to David Gray, honestly. I think he's done a remarkable job up there. I mean, I think he didn't have a great start when he first got the job 2 seasons ago. I think he was it the first 8 games with sort of 1-2 with Aberdeen, and he just kicked on from there. But I think Hibs fans need to be a bit patient with David Gray. I watched Hibs against Motherwell on Sunday in the season opener. They lost 2-1 at home, but again, I think Motherwell are the only team in the league that have kind of carried on from last season, really. We'll touch on Motherwell in a minute. But I thought Hibs were really good. On Sunday, they just couldn't score. They had 19 shots in goal against Motherwell. 19 shots in goal, just couldn't score. But I like the look of some of their new signings. They made 5 signings this summer. They've signed Nathan Lowe and one from Stoke. They've signed Jason Kerr from Wigan, who was at St Johnstone. They look decent. I think Hibs have had an okay summer. They've got a good team, Hibs.
Yeah, no, and see the boy up front as well. He's going to score goals for front. He's came out and made a couple of statements about his intentions. So there'll be no danger of getting relegated. We know that they'll be top 6, and it's just how can they kick on.
No, exactly that. Again, the big thing for Hibs, as we say, is consistency, because Hibs have got this habit of being a bit inconsistent the last few seasons. So there is a bit of that with Hibs. But they travelled to Ibrox on Sunday, where they won their last visit to Ibrox. I think Hibs have got a great chance away at Rangers, I really do. I think they'll be going up there with a lot of confidence. It's a big game for Hibs on Sunday. They also look to get their first win of the season, first win of the league season. So, that'll be a huge game for Hibs and David Gray. We'll now touch on Motherwell. I absolutely love watching them. I think Motherwell are a great team. For me, I think Motherwell are the best run club in Scotland on and off the pitch. Also, it's a new era at Motherwell. Motherwell get a totally new team as well. I think they're a team that's in a bit of transition. Also, Alfred Johansson's came in. He was manager at Rosenborg. He'd been assistant at Malmo, I believe. I really like the look at him. I think he's done really well. He's four games unbeaten. So he has so far. Obviously, won his 2 European ties against AB last week. Also winning at Easter Road on Sunday. They drew 1 each away at Helsinki in the first leg, which is a tough place to go. I think that's a great result for Motherwell getting out the home leg. Yeah, what do you make of Motherwell?
They appear to have just continued where they left off it last season. As I say, they've lost players and likes of Just, Slattery, Watt, and they've just. It's as if it's the same season for the same team for last year. I mean, I know a lot of the fans are crying out they want a kind of number 9, a proper number 9, but I think with the sort of style and that Motherwell play, I don't think they require that.
No.
They're exciting to watch. They play football the right way, and it's just been like for like with the sort of the recruitment in terms of management, in terms of sort of players. So they're definitely an exciting watch. Again, they're going to be up there this season, probably very similar to sort of Hibs, nowhere near relegation, going to be top 6. And then, I mean, the way Hearts are playing now, you're looking for a team that potentially either break Old Firm or at least finishing third. And if you're a betting man, I'd probably say, as long as they can keep the likes of Maswinisi, your money's got to be on Motherwell for that, surely.
Oh, 100%. I'm pretty surprised Maswinisi's still there. I thought he'd get a big move after the season he had. So I think they'll be very lucky to keep Maswinisi. But if they do, perfect for them. You really would fancy them to be up there with the Old Firm. Definitely. I mean, they've had a busy summer, but they've had quite a few outgo. I mean, they get 5 million for Elijah Just, 800 grand for Callum Ward. 10 departures they had. Their other goalie, Oxborough, his deal to Dunfermline has been made permanent. There was also Stephen Welsh went back to Celtic. He's now at Swansea with Elijah Just. I mean, Motherwell brought in a lot of money this summer.
I'm sure even read over the last sort of 2 seasons of bringing, including the sort of Lennon Miller money and that, £14 million or something. That's absolutely ridiculous for a club sort of Motherwell's stature. Any club in Scotland, £14 million. Incredible.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Oh, the money they've generated is fantastic. The profit they've made is incredible. And let's not forget, only a few seasons ago, a guy from Netflix tried to buy them for it was 2-3 million or something like that. Motherwell have just made 14 million off Lennon Miller and the likes of Elijah Just and stuff in player sales. That's incredible.
And
incredible
what else you're doing is a lot to say for fan ownership. So they're a fan-owned club.
Yeah.
Say you've got other clubs in Scotland, St Mirren. Yes, they kind of struggled come the tail end of last season. I know we're going off on a tangent. They won a League Cup. You had Falkirk the last couple of seasons. These are all fan-owned football clubs. So is this maybe the sort of footprint for other sort of smaller clubs in Scotland? If when you look at the successes of these clubs, about what can be achieved.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Well, it looks to me like it's working. I think it's the Welsh Society that are running Motherwell. My mate from uni, he's part of it. And they do a lot of great work behind the scenes, on and off the pitch. So it works. I think Motherwell and Falkirk are probably the 2 biggest examples. So it looks to me like it works. But I probably on the draw, if Motherwell go and beat Helsinki, Motherwell have probably get the toughest draw out of all of them, apart from Hearts. Motherwell get Freeburg. Freeburg were the Europa League finalists last season. So it's you've got to feel for them, but I think they would go. I think they could maybe go toe to toe with Freeburg. It might sound crazy, but I've just got a feeling they could. I don't know why.
Let's see if they get through Helsinki first.
Yeah, no, no, exactly that. And if they do, it'll be the first time they reach a European playoff since 2012. I think they lost to, was it Levante, I believe. Jamie Murphy played that game. So it's been a wee while since they've reached this stage of Europe, Motherwell. But no, Motherwell have been terrific. They really have. And Johansson seems to me like a very good coach. He's got a decent background as well. 35 years old, youngest manager in the league, or in Scotland probably. So he's did a decent start to life up in Scotland.
Now moving on to Rangers last night.
Rangers now, wow.
For
God,
everything Motherwell are, Rangers aren't they?
oh, honestly, Gordon, the Derek McInnes era is not off to a great start, is it?
Certainly not. Certainly not. I
No,
mean,
definitely.
the recruitment, I mean, I know we're sort of maybe dissecting the game, but the recruitment from the outside has looked absolutely shambolic.
Do you think he's been shambolic? Yeah.
Well, how many of look at the players that kind of have made their Rangers debut last night? There's not a couple of them hooked at half time.
I was actually going to mention that, yeah.
You've got Ben Godfrey now. I like Ben Godfrey. I watched him a lot at Everton. He was injury prone. What's happened in his first game for Rangers against Dundee United? He's out for
Gets
4
injured.
So, I say, likes of Shankland and that. I know the service. He was getting absolute no service last weekend. See, I never seen the Rangers game last night. For what I gather from sort of my friends who were watching the game and in group chats, that it was the exact same again. Rangers were powder puff and were actually pretty lucky to get away with a 2-1 defeat.
But I never saw the game either, but Jesus Christ. Yeah, things are just. Rangers seem to just be stagnant again. They seem to just be stagnating from last season. In the summer, I had high hopes for Rangers. I genuinely did, Gordon.
Yeah.
When you bring in Derek McInnes, who I still believe he's the perfect appointment. When you sign Lawrence Shankland, who they should have signed 2 years ago. They've made 8 new signings this summer, Rangers, right? Only 4 of them started last night. I'm yet to be impressed by some of them. I don't think Dan Neil's looked the same player as what he was at Sunderland and Ipswich.
Well, I've seen that. There's a lot of criticism for him online, basically saying he's the reincarnation of Joe Rothfield I had, and there's fans want him back down the road already. So we get it. Football fans are a fickle bunch. I mean, let's see how it is. It's effectively for Rangers 2 games into the season. You can't start wanting loans cancelled, wanting guys freed. But as I said, I mean, I know obviously a couple of minutes ago we were quite negative regarding their recruitment, but in that short period of time with the stuff you're hearing, the stuff you're seeing, it just looks like kind of same old Rangers.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, that's a draw and a defeat in McInnes' first 2 games. Really poor result for Rangers. And I don't want to be too disrespectful here, but I'd never heard of Jagiellonia until Rangers drew them in the Europa League. So, and they'd Kobayashi playing centre half for them who couldn't get a game for Celtic. So it's pretty, it's a poor result. It really is.
I mean, you look at the sort of UEFA rankings, if you want to take it for that, there's a substantial gap between the 2 clubs now. I know these rankings are kind of half the time, they're no worth the paper they're written on, but it does give you an indication of sort of terms of quality. And I know a lot of people fall into these sort of false pretenses where if I've never heard of a club, they can't be really good. Just shows you done it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we were all underestimating Haiti. We'd never heard anything about Haiti. Haiti were actually really good against Scotland. Haiti turned out to be a pretty decent football team. So, you can't underestimate anyone. You know, we've seen it a few times before. But yeah, Rangers at home to Hibs on Sunday. McInnes' first league game. He really needs a result, McInnes. He really does. Rangers now need to get off the mark after dropping points away at Tannadice. But you would fancy Rangers to turn the leg around next week at home. You would fancy them, wouldn't you? Look, it could happen. Right, we'll now move on. We'll quickly go through last week's opening premiership fixtures elsewhere. Gordon, obviously you're a Falkirk fan. I know you obviously won't want to talk too much about it because things are looking pretty doom and gloom over there. A 2-0 defeat at home to St Mirren. What's your thoughts?
Absolutely terrible. So it was. I was at the game with my dad, and it just didn't look a Falkirk side of old. I mean, the last 2 seasons, 3 seasons even, you've seen Falkirk. It's all about possession-based football. It's all about getting wingers, pace, balls in the box. There was nothing of that. I mean, the first 10 minutes, we popped the ball about well, but after that, we just, like many other clubs have done, let Killian Phillips and Goggins just dictate the game. If it wasn't for Scott Bain, who has not played a minute of pre-season due to injury, that could have been easily 4-5, whatever you want. He's made at least three world-class saves. It was poor. I mean, I know there's been a high turnover, but again, we're not the only team in the league that's had a high turnover. There's quality being lost in terms of Stewart, Miller, Kyrell Wilson. I think that's over sort of 30 goal contributions between the three of them. So that's massive. And I mean, I think we've got Ross McKeever's probably the only sort of attack-minded player for the last season. He contributed about 4 goals. So that we're up against it. In terms of the team, I mean, again, I know I made a comment about fickle football fans and everything, and it's only a game into the season, but we just didn't look fit. We did not look fit at all. I mean, Craig Sibbald played in the middle of the park, and I looked fitter than him. He just looked like his legs had gone. I mean, the players that we've signed, there's experience there. You're talking Sibbald, we've got Tanser, we've got Straining, and going through pre-season, I thought we had a couple of poor results against Ayr, against Alloa, but then I thought the defence was sort of gelling. But on Saturday, oh my God, we've got the new guy Melnick's at the back, and I don't know if it's going to take him time to settle. But there was twice he put a short back pass and then left 2 1-on-1s. It was just horrendous. The players were playing. It looked like we're playing about 4 number 10s instead of wingers. There was no pace. There was nothing. It was everything a Falkirk team haven't been the last 3 seasons, and it's deeply, deeply, deeply concerning.
Yeah.
So a lot. I mean, we've signed a bit of experience, but it's just a lot of young boys we've signed from. And I know it boded well in the past with likes of Philip Lisa, etc., Kyrell Wilson, but they just looked like scared wee boys. Let's be honest, before a ball was kicked Friday night, if you had to pick your tip for relegation, I think everybody's money would have been on St Mirren, just with the fact how they ended their season last year. They've got a kind of rookie coach. They've lost guys like O'Hara going back to Kelly, the big boy they had up front.
Man's on site for Stockport.
Aye, lost him, so you go, right, okay. But they done a job on us. And it could have been a lot more, and it's incredibly, incredibly concerning. I've seen they've just signed another centre mid now there. I've seen for Ipswich boy Finlay Barbrook, but again, he's more a kind of holding midfielder, so I don't know if the plan was maybe to put him in next to Spencer and play Sibbald as a 10 maybe. I do not know, but Brad Spencer, he missed last week due to suspension, and he misses this week against Motherwell, which is giving me nightmares already. And so he's massive importance in the sort of cog of the team. A lot of that team's kind of been, for the sort of invincible team of what we called it, it has been sort of ripped up, and there's only, like say, Aidan Nisbet, Tom Lang's there, but I think they'll be away come the end of the window. You've only really got your kind of Ethan Ross, your Ross McKeever, your Nicky Hogarth who's number 2, and Big Henderson at the back. Other than that, it's a brand new team. let's say we're bringing the likes of Jack McMillan. I wasn't impressed with him. We've got the boy Laidlaw who's come in for Brentford, again, a young boy. There's a boy on loan for Blackburn, Aidan Docherty. Again, he looked all right against Stranraer, but with respect, it's Stranraer. No, I mean, it's no SPL, so it is deeply, deeply concerning at this time. Now, you can't go and criticise John McGlynn because look what he's done the last 3 years. It's incredible, and you can never ever sack him, and I would never ever consider sacking him. But we just do it's about keeping the faith. He's done it once, he's done it twice, he's done it 3 times, and he's got an eye for a player. So I do have confidence in him much it turn around. Of course I do. Of course I do. But I say it's quite concerning the performances I've seen so far. Pre-season was a bit of a disaster. I think we only played 2 pre-season games, Airdrie and Genk, which we both won. We went to Portugal, never kicked the ball over there, just training. Should there have been a game? I don't know, but get Motherwell over the way on Sunday, and then I think the way with we're meant to be playing Hearts next week, but that fixture's been postponed, and then it's the Premier Cup, which obviously we were part 2 of. So I think and then we play the following midweek for the telly against Rangers. So I think after Sunday, our next game's not until the 3rd of September, so that should hopefully give time for the team to kind of gel. So we'll see, because our fixtures, I mean, I know it's too early in the season, but that game on Saturday, in my opinion, was a 6-pointer because the running fixtures after that is Motherwell, Hearts, still to be rescheduled, Celtic, Rangers and Celtic. Now, you could be going in effectively your first 4 games with 0 points, and that wouldn't be, you wouldn't be surprised because there's probably no expectation, if you know what I mean. Yes, we had a great record against Motherwell last year, but it's a different side this year. And the last thing you want is, I mean, you look at St Mirren, they're already 3 points ahead of you. St Johnstone beat Kilmarnock, which we'll talk about. They 2 play each other, so there's a potential either if they draw, which is probably the worst case scenario for you, 8 teams could be 4 points ahead of you, who, let's be honest, are going to be your relegation candidates. And they've still got to play again before you kick a ball again. Worrying times.
It certainly is worrying times at Falkirk. It really is. It really is. I think this will probably be the first time where John McGlynn will probably have a lot of kind of obstacles to carry. He'll have a lot of headaches this season. I think this will be probably his first season where he's maybe up against it a wee bit. Because again, when you've lost majority of your best players, when you've been achieving for so long, the consequences of being successful is losing your best players. And it's always going to be a difficult season for Falkirk. And personally, I don't think they were ever going to replicate or continue from last season.
No. I mean, there's always that element of the second season syndrome. I get that. And then you need to consider the fact, let's be honest, they were impressive last year. They were great. But Aberdeen and Dundee United, they massively underperformed. And that's not going to happen again. So the idea of getting the top 6 again is slim to nil. Anyway, so for me, without being too negative, I'd bite your hand off for 10th now. And it's just been a realist, isn't it? Yes, they've made money in terms of the sort of Barney Stewart, the Calvin Miller, but like any deal, it's not as if we've got the couple of million or whatever it is up front. It's all paid in instalments. There needs to be an injection. I think it's 1.6 million in order to rip up the park, put a new park, and get training facilities for next year. So it's not as if we can go and use all that money and go and buy players. And then the last thing you want to do is just kind of throw money for the sake of it, and you're having to replicate the Hartley days, and you're putting your sort of club at risk, financial risk in that, because you don't want that. So it's about being sensible. Now, again, I'm not trying to sound too negative at all, especially after the season of last year, but I'm fully aware that as a Falkirk supporter, like many other teams, you're going to get relegated at one point, aren't you? You're going to go up, you're going to go down, you're going to go up, you're going to go down. So, but we'll see. We'll see. At the end of the day, the transfer window's still got another, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
So hopefully we can put a rabbit out of the hat. But in terms of what I seen last week, incredibly alarming.
Yeah. Aye. I'm surprised at how poor Falkirk were against us in the Cup. I was up there a couple of weeks ago. Really, really surprised. But Yeah, look, we're one league game and who knows? Again, what football to be played? Will Falkirk improve? Who knows? Because they've still got some good players. They do. They do. Right, we'll move on to. We've touched on Aberdeen Hearts. I mean, I thought that was a really important start for Aberdeen. Aberdeen, I think, again, like you said, Aberdeen can't get lower than last season. They can't. Aberdeen they must be going for top four at least. Top four, top six. Stephen Robinson has got a big season in his hands. Aberdeen have made something like 12 new signings this summer.
Mm-hmm.
They've spent a lot of money. It's a great start for Aberdeen. It's a big season for them. They must be competing for top four.
I mean, even got into the split last year, and there was fans, Aberdeen fans, genuinely concerned regarding relegation, which is
Yeah, mental.
unbelievable for a club of that stature.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 12 new signings made. They're spending big. They really are. Look, I think Stephen Robinson's the perfect the right appointment for Aberdeen. Again, they've not went down the Scandinavian route like they went for Tulane. They've went for a proven manager in this league. He won something with St Mirren. He finished top 6 3 seasons in the bounce. Finished third with Motherwell, got to 2 cup finals in a season. This is a manager who's been there and done it. You know, he's proven that he can achieve at this level. So, look, Aberdeen, for me, I think they've got to be aiming for fourth. For fourth, third or fourth at least. But not great result for them. I think Kevin Nisbet was terrific on Saturday. I thought Kevin Nisbet was very inconsistent last season, but I thought he was good on Saturday. I think he's a new captain as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, big result for Aberdeen. Great start for them. Dundee United Rangers 1 each. St Johnstone Killie, a 7-goal thriller up in Perth. I watched this game. What a game it was. St Johnstone's first game back in the Premiership. 4-3 St Johnstone against Killie. What do you make of that, Gordon?
If you're a defensive coach, you'd be pulling your hair out because as much as it sounds like an absolute blockbuster game, and as a neutral, it was absolutely fantastic, but some of the defending, oh my word.
Yeah.
When you look at the Hugo goal, the goalie caught in no man's land, the whole own goal, it was just, it was a bit it was a complete opposite of score and keep it tight, wasn't it? It was just, it was anarchy, but you know what? It was Scottish football. It was 100 mile an hour. There was mistakes. There was jeopardy. It was a really entertaining watch. And as I said, that after Saturday, what I just spoke about 5 minutes ago, I was like a cat in a hot tin roof. And actually watching that, I was like, right, okay, we maybe not be as bad as it is when you see some of that defending. But again, they're scoring goals, aren't they? And that's the hardest thing to do, stick the ball in the back of the net. As I said, it's a massive result for St Johnstone. They get themselves off to a winning start on the return to the SPL. We have you going to St Mirren next week, tomorrow, where you wouldn't put it past them getting at least a point. So I'm sure if you said to the St Johnstone fans, 4 points in your first 2 games, you'd take that, they'd bite your hand off for it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, no, perfect start for St Johnstone. I've always liked Val. I think Valakani's a good manager. I've always liked him. I can see St Johnstone consolidating this year. I can see them being quite safe. I can see them maybe mid-table. For them, it's all about consolidation this season. You know, they need to try mid-table, aim for mid-table, stay in the league. But that knows what? 3 goals in the first 7 minutes of the second half. 3 goals in 7 minutes. Wild. Absolutely wild.
Mm-hmm. And then did the boy John Jules go off injured for Kilmarnock? Did he do that?
Yes, he did. I think he did, yeah.
Well, you've seen the tail end of last season, a massive loss for them. So if he's injured for any sort of substantial period, that's a big concern as well, Kilmarnock, because he was the man for the goals, wasn't he?
Yeah. I thought John Jules was probably Kelly's best player last season. His goals kept them up.
good news for you then, going in for a couple of weeks then, eh?
Hey, do you know what? I thought Kelly looked pretty poor. I think we've got. I'm really confident about us playing Kelly. I think we've got a great chance. I really do. I think it's probably one of the better draws we could have got. Would have been better if it was at home, but I really fancy us because I didn't think Kelly were great shakes at all. But one at St Johnstone's goal scorers, Josh Fowler, right? Listen to this. He was playing for Bees in the West of Scotland Premiership 3 years ago. He's just scored in his SPL debut for St Johnstone. Played for Bees 3 years ago.
Went across to the United Arab Emirates, didn't he? Is it Gulf
Yes,
United you went
Gulf
to?
United.
And then
Yeah,
ended up back at Queen's Park, and then I know it, fair play to him, eh?
yeah, great story, great story. But yeah, 4-3 win for St Johnstone on Flag Day. Hibs Motherwell, we've touched on that, but yeah, decent game. Hibs just couldn't hit a barn door. 19 shots in goal. Probably the better team second half. Ibrahim's side, 86-minute winner, gives the Steelmen the 3 points. Motherwell looking good right now. We've touched on it. Now on to the final game of last weekend. Celtic, the champions, at home to Dundee. A 1-0 win for Celtic at home to Dundee. Benjamin Negan, 56-minute winner, gave Celtic the 3 points. Celtic, Jesus Christ. I thought they were pretty flat. I didn't think they were great at all.
I mean, if the new striker's got his shooting boots on, it's a far more comfortable score than what it looks like, eh?
He missed
I
a couple
think
of
there's a
big
couple of kind of
chances.
wee half chances in the first half for Dundee that I seen and you go, right, okay, but I think over the sort of the piece, Celtic were fairly comfortable and really should have added to the scoreline. I know their fans, there's obviously been very critical of the board, the recruitment. What I was really surprised at, I seen a wee bit of the news signing, they've got the boy Duran, and I thought he was scoring goals. I think he scored against AC Milan in the friendly. I thought they'd have played him up front, but he played him out wide on sort of Monday night. I don't know. I just think he looked more effective up front, but who knows? Who knows? But it was. I know the fans probably expected a kind of swashbuckling 4-5, whatever it would have been going into on their flag day. But I thought they were fairly comfortable without sort of getting out of second gear, if you want for a better word.
Yeah, yeah. I thought Dundee were good. I was impressed by Dundee. I think a couple of good players. The boy Bevan out wide.
Yeah.
The boy Hamilton in midfield. I thought Charlie Riley had a good game. I thought Alan Forrester when he came on. I've been impressed with Stephen Presley. I thought Dundee were really good. I thought it defended excellently.
You're going to get that Presley side, though, aren't you? They're always kind of well organised and ball off for a threat. I know he came into a bit of criticism last year because, I say, the start of the season, they had a sort of Premier Sports Cup campaign to forget that I think they beat a Falawa and they were honking, but then they got a few boys in and loan and they kind of steadied the ship. And they were probably, I would say, the best team, the best of the rest in the top six in terms of how they played. I thought they were probably, aye. So he got it right. And I say, I think Presley does get a lot of unfair criticism, but I don't know if it's just the kind of person he is, his mannerisms, etc. But no, they'll be solid this season. I mean, they lost a lot of players as well. They had very similar to Falkirk, a lot of good players in on loan. So again, it's another team going for another rebuild. They should be. I think they should be clear any sort of relegation troubles this year.
No, I don't think Dundee will be in any danger. I don't think they'll be in any danger at all. Just quickly on Celtic and recruitment. Also sold Maeda to Ipswich for 10 million. Looks like Arne Engels is out the door to West Ham for £25 million, which is an EFL transfer record. £25 million to West Ham. I know it's West Ham in the Championship. There's a lot more money in the Championship now than what there's ever been. But I think Engels could be out the door. Will they keep Alistair Johnson? Is he going to go to Everton? I'm not sure. They're looking at other targets. But the thing that annoys me with Celtic is, right, they should be streets ahead of everyone. Celtic have only made 2 signings this summer. They've made the least amount of signings in the league. They've spent, I think, 19 million in total. 11 million for Casper Ho, but I think 3 million add-ons. 5 million for Duran from Clarabag. They play Lask in the Champions League playoff next week. It's only 2 weeks' time. I think Celtic are still behind. I think they've got still a lot more to do in the transfer window, Gordon.
Aye, 100%. I mean, I don't think the fans will accept it this year if it's the same sort of kind of lazy recruitment approach for the board. I mean, I know there was protests in that last year, but the board did get away with it a wee bit in terms of the fact that they won the league and then the Scottish, but the fans will not be having that this year. You've seen it with, it was Middlesbrough that played in the pre-season friendly where
It was empty.
they could have played that game at the training ground, couldn't have? So the fans will vote with their feet. However, we'll see. But I imagine there'll be another couple of signings coming near the end of the window just to sort of appease them.
Well, it looks like Hassan could be in the door shortly from Oviedo. He's turned down a few deals in Saudi, but looks like that could be over the line. But yeah, 1-0 at Celtic Park. Right, on to the Championship now, Gordon. We'll start off with
We'll talk about that in about a year's time.
I don't have a plan for that. You never know. I might be doing the season. Ayr, what a start it's been. Five wins on the spin under Gary Naismith. 3 clean sheets out of those 5 games. Perfect start to the league season. 2-0 win at home to Arbroath. Top of the league after the first week of the season as well. Goals from Ben Summers and Ross Taylor. A very good performance from there. I thought we're really good. I think we look really good this season. I think all our signings this summer don't look out of place at all, Gordon. I think recruitment's been good. I'm really impressed with most of the summer signings. I do. We've signed also Ross Taylor has hit the ground running. Ben Summers, who we had on loan from Celtic last season, I thought was really poor. He's come on to a game massively this season. Don't know what Gary Naismith's done to him during the summer. I think Reece Lyon's been an absolute steal, who we got from Queen of the South. I thought we were good on Saturday, Gordon. I'm impressed. But tough game tomorrow away from Dunfermline.
Yep, and I think that, again, the kind of part in the conversation early in the season, but that's the kind of game, if you are seriously talking about going challenging for leagues and that, you need to go there and take something.
100%.
You need to be going there.
Definitely. You want to go challenge for the title. And last season we were in the title race, we thought we were using Livingston. The one thing that cost us was losing away at Firhill, losing away at Capello. It can really cost you. So you need to go to places like East End, Firhill, Capello, Inverness, Starks Park, Oakview. You need to go to these places and get results because they're absolutely horrible places to go. They're slogs. So we've got a pretty decent record away at East End Park, Gordon. Got a really decent record there. We won there twice last season. And the season before, we're unbeaten there since March 2024. So we've had a decent record at Dunfermline over the years. But Dunfermline, I think they've got stronger. I think Neil Lennon's done a terrific job there. I do believe they're one of the favourites for the title, them and Thistle. I think them in particular are the 2 favourites. Dunfermline got a big budget this summer. They've just been in a cup final. They've still got a very young squad, so do we this season. But I think it will be Dunfermline one of our toughest games this season.
I mean, I know they lost the laddie Mullen, who was integral at their backline. Wonderful.
100%.
And they've lost one of the Todds. He's away to St Johnstone. But I mean, the signing the likes of Ollie Shaw, he scores goals, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Have recruited well. They're still kept a hold of the likes of your Robbie Fraser, the other Todd. They've got 2 Todds. They've got John and
Andrew Todd.
Aye, so they will be there or thereabouts definitely this season.
Yeah. Crucial they kept a hold of Oxford. I thought he was terrific for Dunfermline last season.
Aye. Yes,
Uh,
certainly, I totally agree. And I think if he maybe played in that playoff, then because Motherwell called him back, didn't he, to go and sit on the bench for the game against Partick.
that's
And then
right.
the sub goalie they put in kind of cost the jerseys a wee bit. So there's a good chance that they could have been against St Mirren in the sort of a playoff final if they'd kept him. So he's a massive part of the team, and aye, but they will be up there. They kind of unfortunately always are.
Yeah, I know definitely. I've been really impressed with Dunfermline. I thought second half of the season last year, Dunfermline just went from strength to strength. I thought they were a bit inconsistent first half of the season when Neil Lennon's dad died. He wasn't in the dugout. Ian Brunskill took the team. They went through a bit of a sticky patch around about Christmas time, and probably towards since they beat Hibs, Dunfermline just kicked on. They went a crazy run. They went up the league, they overtook us, they got in the playoffs, got to the cup final. I thought they ended last season really positively. Um, I pretty disappointed. I mean, they got a point last week, drawn 0-0 away at Inverness, which again, Inverness, notoriously difficult place to go. Also won League One last year. Um, I can see them filming again. I can see them kicking on this season because I still think they've got a top squad, got a top manager Neil Lennon. He's done it before in the Championship with Hibs. So yeah, I'm expecting a difficult game tomorrow, but I do fancy us. We're going over to East End Park with a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence. The team's playing really well, and we've got a lot of strength and depth this season. So I'm impressed. Bit of a blow, obviously, Kieran Shanks is out for 6 to 8 weeks with a damaged ligament. He got nailed in the first 10 minutes on Saturday. But I think he might maybe go for maybe Mackenzie up front, maybe Ross Taylor up front. So no, maybe Ross Taylor out wide, Owen Sturton up front. So and Owen Sturton's been terrific, by the way. He was banging the goals during the cup campaign. I'm really impressed with him on Monday United. So yeah, we've got strength and depth, which I'm impressed with. Our recruitment's been terrific. And we've got a proper manager now, Gordon, Gary Naismith. He seems to be getting the best out of these players.
Aye, very true the point. When I say we spoke a few months ago, and I said he's the man you need to go for, and I'm surprised
Yeah.
Rafe Rovers never went for him when they were kind of looking to recruit. But aye, no, I think he will do well. Naismith there. Will he win the league? I do not know. See, to be honest, there's easily 3, 4 teams you could say could quite easily, not easily, but you could say could go and win that league this year. But it'll certainly be interesting as the championship always is. It's always a tight affair.
Every season. It'll be a really tight league this year. A really tight league, God. I'm expecting it to be very open. Because obviously Livy's come down, there's no real big fish. Everyone's on a similar level playing field. So it'll be a tight league. It will be. Right. Yeah, Dunfermline nil, Inverness nil. Also Inverness back in the Championship. Inverness, I can see them being no mug. Scott Kelliker, what a job he's done. Took Inverness just after Duncan Ferguson left after administration. Done really well there. Danny Devine has just reached 300 appearances. He's been a steal for them. Wraith Steny, I can see them surprising a few folk this season.
They're going to be hard to beat, aren't they? Because well, you even look
Yeah,
when Marvin Bartlett took over at Livy come the end of last season. Yes, he didn't win many games, but they were the draw specialists, weren't they? He knew how to set his team out and how to get a result, how to make it difficult.
mm.
And aye, and there'll be a few teams that I mean, I know Rafe Rovers got a goal knocked off in the last minute, which was a bit questionable. But aye, no, I've got fair play to Steny. Again, you're probably our favourites for relegation. As expected, they're a part-time team alongside Arbroath in that league. They've just came up. So no what, fair play to them. And aye, they'll take a couple of scalps, the bold Steny. And aye, good luck to them.
Yeah. A good point for them. Away at Steny. Tough place to go. Great point for Steny. Been really impressive. Got a decent team, so yeah, got high hopes for them. It's their first game in the second tier since 1995. Only, 3 seasons ago, they were a League Two club. So, yeah, I can see Steny being mid-table. I can see them being up there. Set one each at Starks Park. Partick leave it late away at Capel. A 1-0 win for Partick over Morton. A late with was a winner. Do you think, would you make a Partick this season? How do you think they'll go? Can they do it this year? Is this the season?
I think this is probably one of their most difficult season to do it if they are going to do it. They just, if it's always the bridesmaid, never the bride for Thistle in it. They always get
Right.
so close and it just doesn't happen. I'd love to see them up there, but I don't see them winning the league. I think it'll be Livy's going to win the league. They will finish in the
Right.
playoffs, yes, but again, it's just it always just comes to the depth of their squad, doesn't it? They're always just that wee bit away. They start picking up injuries, start struggling coming the end of the season with the amount of games. But for what I seen for what I heard for the sort of Morton Thistle game, Thistle were kind of in control of the game. Morton have got their own problems of their own.
Yep.
They are in serious bother, and
Yes.
they're going down this year. That's my opinion. There's no money. They're having to rely on kids to fill their bench off their academy. 15 and 16-year-old kids. That's great, giving them that sort of experience. But when you're in a relegation dogfight, which they're going to be in, let's be honest here, it's not an ideal grounding, is it, for these young kids? When
No.
you're
No, it
against
isn't. Yeah. No, it isn't. Yeah. Go on,
And
I
an
agree with you.
interesting one anyway, because sorry to interrupt you there, Ewan.
That's fine.
They're away to Steny tomorrow, so that makes a really interesting game, doesn't it?
Mm. And look what happened last time they went to Steny last season in the Cup.
Got battered.
Exactly. I agree with you, Gordon. I think Morton will be relegated. I thought they were punching above their weight under Dougie. I thought Dougie done a marvellous job on a shoestring budget. I think this is the season we see Morton get relegated. The financial troubles are just awful. Financially, the club is fucked. They're on a reduced budget this season. The Rada have pulled out their sponsorship in the club. I think there's links for a deal with a boy from Australia, the beer company, hoping to buy them.
Again, that kind of doesn't sounds a bit fishy, doesn't it?
So yeah, the Rada have pulled out their sponsorship. Yeah, they're on a hiding to nothing, Morton. You know, Ian Murray's firefighting this summer. He really is. Yeah, I can see Morton going this season. Livingston back in the Championship. First game under Glenn Whelan. I think this is his first job as well, Glenn Whelan. First game back in the Championship. A 2-0 win at home to Queen's Park. You think Livy will win the league?
Lovely for the league for me, yes.
Yeah, they are the favourites. But look, who knows? I don't want to sit here. I'm not sure. But it will be. There'll be a few teams going for it this season. But yeah, no, they'll definitely be up there, Livy. 100%. Livy will still get some good players. They signed Jordan Docherty from Wraith. Who else have they got? They've kept Robbie Muirhead. So
He's the
Ryan
man who got two on
McGowan's still
Saturday,
there.
didn't he?
Sorry?
He's the man who got two on Saturday. So again, knows the league,
Yeah,
knows what's required. When they came up the last time with a good season, so
yeah. No,
we'll
great
still
player.
keep like say Pryor, the goalie.
Yeah, Pryor's still there. Montano's still there. So they've still got their spine of their team, a good core of their team will still remain. So Livy obviously would be the favourites with the team they've got, their budget, obviously the parachute payments and stuff. So you obviously would fancy Livy to win the league, but who knows? Glenn Whelan's first job. Queen's Park, on the other hand, I thought they had a marvellous turnaround last season under Sean Crichton. Very unlucky not to go through the cup groups if it wasn't for Dunfermline beating St Mirren. I can see Queen's Park maybe finishing mid-table. I can see them not being having any relegation danger. I can see them being safe for the drop zone. They've now got their loan cooperation agreement with Rangers. My second cousin is signed for them on loan. We've also signed another boy from Rotherham, Lewis Stewart, who's also at Rangers. So a couple of young players there. So yeah, I can see Queen's Park being okay. So yeah, 2-0 finished at Almond Vale. On to League One now.
A few high-scoring games there.
Yeah, goals galore in League One. What a first week we had in League One this season. I said this in my last podcast, Gordon. I think League One is going to be a very tight league this year. Very, very, very tight. It's going to be very entertaining. I think there'll be about maybe 3 or 4 teams that will be going for the title this season. I do. I think it'll be between maybe East Kilbride or Ross County, Hamilton, and I think maybe Airdrie might fancy their chances to go back up. A few teams.
That's exactly what I was thinking myself. I mean, Montrose have spent a couple of quid this year and they've just been battered off of Hamilton. They seem to have got their kind of house in order after their sort of the recent debacle of that football club, which we've spoke about before, which is good to see, because as much as your personal opinions on owners or a club in general, it's always the fans that get hurt in it, and you've got to have a bit of compassion with these guys and girls that kind of go week in, week out, and you don't want to see anybody get put through the mill like that, because it's no fair. East Kilbride slammed another 5 past Queen of South. What an opening game that was. Fair play to them, and they play some attractive football. I mean, I know a lot of people talk about budgets and stuff like that, but see, at the end of the day, you can buy all the best players, you can do whatever, but it's about getting results in that park and making it effective. And I mean, the Queen of the South, kind of a proper staple team, if anything, probably maybe a team that you sort of necessarily see as a championship team, and they've just went and absolutely smoked them 5-1. And then you've got the Ross County, where thrown money again, and say Brian Graham, he's a SPL player last year. He's went back to Ross County, and with Uncle Roy's managed to get him signed up, and he's been banging him in. He banged him in that Premier Sports Cup, and he started the season away to Peterhead and stuck one in as well. So there's 3 teams that, and that's not even including Airdrie, who probably you'd see got a poor result away to Cove at the weekend. They wanted to start kind of flying there. But, I mean, you're talking, there's 3-4 teams where are going to be challenging for the league. Only one can go up automatically, we know that. But see if you're a championship team like, for instance, a Mort and a Steny, whoever, if I know it's a long way away, but if you come to the relegation playoff time and you're facing one of them, you're kind of squeaky bum time, innit?
Yeah, no, it definitely is squeaky bum time. Yeah, no, there'll be a few teams going for that League One title. It'll be really exciting. Genuinely, it will.
And then you've got Airdrie, East Kilbride this weekend, so a bit of a Lanarkshire derby there.
Yeah, Lanarkshire derby. I think it's the first ever meeting between Airdrie and East Kilbride in a league game as well, which is mental. East Kilbride were a Lowland League club 2 years ago. Airdrie were a championship club. They now face each other. I mean, Ross County and East Kilbride in the league together. Wild. And Hamilton, you add Hamilton to the mix. Another derby game. So it's going to be an interesting season in League One. I'm really looking forward for League One. It's really, really entertaining. Again, East Kilbride, even before the season started, I always thought they could win League One. They could compete for League One because their brand of football, they play very attacking football. Mick Kerry and Cy Ferry, they're big advocates of playing attacking football, playing in the front foot, and not kind of sitting back and sitting a low block, just trying to defend and have the fear of losing games. They just go for it in the attack games. So that's what I like about East Kilbride. They're a good team to watch. So I always fancied East Kilbride, and especially after their cup campaign, going beating Dunfermline 3-0 and being 3-0 up against St Mirren in 60 minutes as well. Wild. And winning League Two in the fashion they did. Incredible. But what a start they've had at home to Queen of the South. The first ever game in the third tier of Scottish football. Nicky Clark, although rookie manager, player manager of the Queen of the South, first league game. Horrible start for him. Montrose, like you said, Montrose spent massive in the summer. Although, Gordon, they absolutely bottled it in the League Cup. All they had to do was beat Spartans and they would win their cup group with Dundee United in it. They had a great cup group. All they had to do was go and beat Spartans and they were through at the last 16. They missed out, lost to Spartans 2-0. It's a bit of a bummer for them. But look at the players they've signed. Sean Byrne, Sean McGinty, Gary Oliver. These are championship players.
Gary Oliver was I know he didn't feature much. He was playing in the Premier League with Falkirk last year.
Yeah, exactly. So it's Sean Byrne was playing the Premiership for Dundee not too long ago as well. So these are good signings. Montrose also, it's Stuart Peach's 10th season as well. 10 years in a job nowadays in football, that's rare. It's the longest serving manager in the whole of the SPFL. But a horrible start to the league season for them. I was surprised by that. 5-0. Hamilton.
Aye, at home.
Yeah, at home. And look, I think Hamilton will be up there. I think Hamilton have had a really good summer. They've signed Stuart Bannigan, who I really like to air. I would have kept him at air. Stuart Bannigan, Dom Thomas, another player who I like to air but was treated poorly by Scott Brown. They've brought Andy Ryan back from Larne, who was playing in Europe 2 seasons ago. And they've signed Cammy Blues from Morton. Yeah, things are looking up for Hamilton. Obviously, got the new ownership. And Rob Edwards and Morley Sports Management Group. So things are looking positive for Hamilton. The club's back on track now. So things look good there. You've got, and then Ross County as well. They'll be hoping to win the league.
Well, I think if Ross County don't go up this year, there's massive concerns there.
Huge concerns.
But they just seem to keep getting bankrolled there. But we will see. We'll see.
We'll see. It could happen, honestly. Disappointing result for Airdrie though, 0-0 at Cove. Cove, although they've got a new look kind of team. Cove had a lot of kind of financial issues last year, had a lot of problems last season, hence why they were in a bit of a relegation battle. Paul Hartley's been given a new deal. They're now full time. They've signed Jordan White from Ross County. They've signed Chris Maguire, who was at Sunderland. Mitch Megginson's away. He's left after 10 years. He's signed for Peterhead. So a lot of change at Cove. But Airdrie, obviously, John Rankin's in there. There's a safe pair of hands. He'll be looking to go straight back up. Airdrie have also signed Declan Gallagher, and what a carcass he was at Ross County. Aye. Alan, he's Fife.
This season.
Hey, never know. This probably could be his level now. Not the same player anymore. I don't know what it was with Declan Gallagher. I mean, he played in that Serbia game, which qualified Scotland for the Euros, and he spanked the gaff out at Ross County last year.
I just think it was rather than a Declan Gallagher problem, a Ross County problem, because absolutely none of them. Even I say I liked the season before I like to look at the young boy Henderson that you guys had on loan.
Yeah.
Shadow the player he was last season.
No?
He was a shadow.
He was. I noticed that.
Hey ho.
And then Alloa East Fife 0-0.
Nothing to write home about there.
Yeah, nothing. I know exactly. Classic Dick Campbell. So no. I've enjoyed the first week of the league season. Also, a lot of games tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. It's good to have the club football back, isn't it, Gordon?
Is it fuck?
No, maybe not for you as a Falkirk.
Give me a Scotland disaster class there. What I watched last week, any day of the week, it's great to have the real stuff back, isn't it? And I did feel like a dead short pre-season, which is always good, isn't it? So there'll be more twists and turns to come in a couple of weeks. We've still got the transfer window open, so there'll be changes there. So no, it's great to have it back, and saves me getting trailed about B&Q and getting told to do the odd jobs around the house on a Saturday afternoon. Back and enjoying my football now.
Aye, no, it's always good the football on the Saturday. Are you going up to Fir Park on Sunday?
I'm considering it. I'll see.
Okay,
And
aye,
that's me. I'll go through the toys at the pram because we were defeated, but it's just I've got a
aye.
couple of bits of work on Monday's quite a hectic day, so I was going to do a bit of weekend working, shall we say. So we'll see. If not, I'll maybe try and find it on the Magic Telly. You know that telly gives you access to every sort of football game in the world.
Aye, the fire stick's brilliant. It's great.
Don't know what you're talking about, Ian. Don't know what
I
you're
just
talking
know maybe
about.
shouldn't have said that, but aye. Let's just hope we don't get done for it. But I know it's handy. It's a great thing. Can watch any game. It's brilliant.
So,
I maybe shouldn't have mentioned that there. Right. Aye, that's pretty much everything we've got time for. Thanks for listening, folks. We're also now up on YouTube. I'll put it up on YouTube, so please like, comment, subscribe, hit the share, whatever. Spotify, give it a download. It'd be very much appreciated. Would help me a lot with the podcast. Just going to try and keep uploading as much as I can this season. I've got a lot planned. So yeah, a lot coming up, a lot of exciting stuff. But thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good weekend, everyone.